everyone, welcome back to Film Tremble. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on the video. And let's get started.
You gotta be kidding me. Shelby GT350. Gone in 60 Seconds, the movie. It's Eleanor, I get it.
In season 11, a man called Paul brought Rick one of the most iconic cars that became famous in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. The 1967 Shelby GT350 had even been signed by Carroll Shelby on the glove box, which the famous automotive designer would do in exchange for a donation to his charity. Since only 1,175 vehicles of this kind were made in total, Paul was asking for $125,000. After calling Bill Siringos in to check his special car out, Rick decided to make an offer of $100,000, which led to a rare instant deal without further negotiations and one of the biggest payouts in Pawn Star history. That surely became one of the most profitable deals later on.
Back in '67, when you were driving this car, you were kind of a baller. I mean, this was paying a lot of money to drive a Mustang. Yeah. You could drive a Porsche for the price of this car back then. You know what I mean?
After his grandmother passed away, one man was cleaning out the old woman's belongings when he came across a gold bar hidden away in a box. Not knowing how much it was worth, he decided to take it to the Pawn Stars to find out more. Simply melting the gold bar down would have brought the man $24,000. However, after an expert confirmed that the gold bar was actually from the 1554 Spanish shipwreck off Padre Island in Texas and worth twice as much, the lucky finder of the treasure agreed to sell the bar to Rick for just $35,000, and both men walked away happy from the transaction. In season 8, regular customer Davey came to the gold and silver pawn shop to offer Rick a big purple gem that he claimed had been in his family for generations.
It's been in my family for generations and generations. That's all I know.
They only discovered the stone like right around 1900, so it hasn't been in for generations and generations.
A generation?
But when he said this stone was a real kunzite, Rick pointed out that the stone had only been discovered in the early 1900s. The pawn shop owner wanted his gemologist Jeff to check the gem out to make sure it wasn't just glass. Fortunately, it turned out that it was a genuine kunzite gem and worth about $30 to $50 per carat. With this stone weighing over 320 carats, Rick was looking at a price range of $9,000 to $16,000, and while Davey was hoping to squeeze $15,000 out of Rick, the Pawn Star only offered a third of that. The two eventually agreed on $6,500, which was obviously a pretty good deal for Rick.
I don't hate Rick. I like doing business with Rick and Corey. But, you know, sometimes they win, sometimes I win. I mean, this one, they won.
In 2013, the car rental company Hertz created a 150 limited edition Ford GT Mustangs in a partnership with American entrepreneur Roger Pence. The first 10 cars produced were even more special as they had a 6-speed manual, so when a man offered Rick one of these first 10 cars, he was hoping to get $85,000 for it. After professional NASCAR driver Joey Laguna gave it a test drive to confirm that everything was in as good a shape as it seemed, Rick managed to beat down the seller and bought the Mustang for $60,000.
I'll write you a check for 60 grand, and it'll even be good. But that's what I could do.
I'll do it.
All right, man, it's a deal. Bring it down to the shop, and we'll do some paperwork.
Don't do.
Cool. I'm gonna call Joey and take it for another ride.
If you are a fan of Pawn Stars, you will know that Adam is one of Rick's best customers who regularly offers him extremely valuable books for a fair price and still allows Rick to beat down his price. When he came to Rick in season 10 with the 5th edition copy of the Book of Mormon printed in 1842 and the last edition to be printed while the religion's founder Joseph Smith was still alive, Rick decided to call in his rare book expert to appraise its value. Rebecca Romney had both good news for both Adam and Rick as she estimated the book to be worth $40,000, considering it is not just of interest to Mormon collectors, but also a historical document of America's most successful homegrown religion. Adam, who had hoped to get $25,000 for his treasure, eventually agreed to sell it for $24,000, which was still one of the highest payouts in the pawn shop's history. And Rick surely made a huge profit by beating down Adam's more than fair price by another grand. Rick is known to drive a hard bargain and has often been accused of lowballing his customers, so he surprised everyone when he offered his customers several grand more than she had asked for. The woman had come into the shop with a piece of jewelry that a relative had given her, unaware of the item's incredible value. She offered Rick a spider brooch for just $2,000, and after examining it, he appeared to be pretty excited. Knowing what he was holding was a real treasure, Rick offered the clueless customer an incredible $15,000, nearly 8 times as much as she had asked for. Understandably, the woman was more than happy to accept his offer, but even though Rick was honest enough to give her more money than she had asked for, he basically still ripped her off, as it later turned out that the fabric, a spider brooch, was worth an unbelievable $80,000 more. Well, that's all the time we have for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all next time.